watch loads of movies and have your holiday at home. You already have a bed, a kitchen, and a bathroom. A friend of mine won't go on holidays at all. And if his wife asks him, he says no, not even for a short break. He states, I have a lovely bathroom here at home, and I've never seen a bathroom like it. So why would I want to go anywhere else? And the food is great as well. But like Isabella mentioned, I think it's his wife that prepares all the food, so she doesn't get away from having to cook. But why would I want to go away? I suppose, to some extent, you go on a holiday because it's a sense of discovery. You're somewhere new. New things to see, new foods to taste. Also, it's an opportunity to spend time with your partner, which you can't always do at home. And in many ways, it's a pilgrimage. It's breaking with the ordinary to do something new. And in a way, it has a spiritual dimension to it. No matter whether you're going to Ibiza, New York, or whatever, that sense of going away has a sense of pilgrimage. And indeed, pilgrims were the original holidaymakers. And then if you're away for a period of time and you come back, how do you fit in again? Even if it's only for a few weeks, certain things have changed. And a short space of time away feels shorter for those at home than the person who's gone away. When you go away, you think you've been away a longer time. But when you get back, it seems you haven't even gone away. And yet, people will say to you, oh, were you away? I haven't seen you around that way. And if you're a cat or a dog, they would notice. Well, maybe the cat might not care, as long as there was somebody there with a tin open. But the dog would lick you to death as soon as you get back. When I go away, and because I'm a minister here, standing in the pulpit, and as Isabella said, like all men, thinking of something profound and significant to say, when I return, I think to myself, will I be ever able to write a sermon again? Now, some might say, were you ever able to write one in the first place? But I'm sure they won't say that. Will I have developed an obscene level of shyness, which will shock me into silence in public? Will I stand up here and quake, fearful to speak one word? No, I don't think so. Will Isabella lose her voice when she is to resume her choir duties? When we were teenagers, we were delighted when our parents went away. It was party time. Well, maybe not in everybody's house, but in my home, it was party time when my parents went off on holidays. Except in the last day, there was a lot of cleaning up to get everything. I know some people are smiling. They recognize what I'm saying here. A lot of cleaning up before the parents come home. And of course, the parents look around the house and said, they must have had a party. Why? Because I've never seen the house as clean as this. And while I was away, I had the opportunity to watch the services on YouTube. And we really enjoyed them. Eve, who read about her grumpy saint, which I loved. What a profound reading to select. Even if you have to do the good deed, even if you have to do it with a heavy heart, do the good deed. People often say, you should always do something with a good spirit or a good heart. I don't necessarily believe that. Even if you feel it's a chore, even if you feel you don't want to do it. It's the afterwards that you will feel it was a deed worth doing. And of course, the choir coming back for the special service to welcome our new moderator, Alistair, from this parish, Alistair Bell, who was installed as moderator at the recent General Synod. And Trevor got the choir back at short notice with some beautiful music and anthems to celebrate Alistair's installation as moderator. And all our wonderful readers, Alan, Sheena, Monica, and many others that I hope sadly I may have left out. And indeed, Alan's deeply moving flower communion service with beautiful flowers arranged by, I presume, Susan. We have the opportunity in Crete to watch all this because of modern technology. And we give out a lot about technology and all the people with their phones in their hand. But yet, isn't it wonderful that we can talk to our family members on the other side of the world? We can watch our church services on our phone. And of course, while we were away, the shop didn't close down. And what we could see was a selection of cakes and other delights at coffee time, where every bit is delicious. And this was heartening. And I'll tell you why. Because it's always a big worry with many a minister who's advancing in age, that when you leave, that the place will continue and the church will still have life. Do you know, there was an entertainer in Dublin, and she was a noted comedian, and she performed regularly in variety shows in the Olympia Theatre. But if you were a support act, and if you got more laughs than her, she cautioned you. And if you got more laughs the following week, she sacked you. Now, I'll never be like that. If somebody gets more laughs, I won't worry about that. What I'm delighted about is that when I move on at some stage, all souls will continue with optimism. You all of the people who are members of this congregation, all of you who have blessed this sacred space with your presence, you are creating a blessed and wonderful community here in this space. A community that welcomes all, in every sense of that meaning, welcomes all. Irrespective of race, colour, creed, sexual orientation, everyone is welcome here. There is no small print. Someone once said to me that the problem with having so many talented people here in All Souls, and those who go for ministry, that we lose them. They go to other churches, as Alistair has gone, as Linda Kane and Alan mentioned, and of course Stephen Rain Adair. But yet optimistically, we look at that they are spreading the good news elsewhere, bringing a special inclusive message to other places. Now, while we were in Crete, we had dinner with friends of ours, Brian and Marley Smith, who have lived in Crete for many years. And they've lived in Crete so many years, they are now not known as Smith, but Smithakis. And every week, they watch the service on YouTube. They know people here by name. They know Trevor. They speak highly of you, Trevor. They know Trish when she gets up to read. They know Alan, Roger, and many others. They mention them all to us. So what I'm going to ask you to do today is give out a big hello, Brian and Marley, to Brian and Marley in Crete. Let me hear you all. Hello, Brian and Marley. Thank you very much. It's hard to leave a place when you're perfectly relaxed. And yet there's something pulling you back to what you call home. Something telling you, although it's nice here, the sea, the blue skies, the wine, the raki, the ouzo, all keeping you there. And yet, as we say in the Irish language, Níl ein tinton mar a tinton féin. Níl ein tinton mar a tinton féin. There is no fire like your own fire. And that's what gets you to pack your bag and head home again. Glad to be back where you belong. Because it's about belonging. Whether we're, as a community here in Old Souls, belonging here, or many visitors today, in all the communities that you share and belong to, and would never want to leave. But when you go away, sadly, sometimes you hear bad news. Literally, as I was flying out of Gatwick, I received the sad news of the death of Bishop Pat Buckley, a good friend of mine. And we received this from his colleague, Father Paul. Pat officiated at many weddings here for the travelling community. So as you can well imagine, I received many calls from people worried about their wedding plans, but we managed to get it all sorted out. I miss Pat. He had a sharp intellect, and I enjoyed my many discussions with him. And yet, despite that sharp intellect, great knowledge of theology and a deep thinker, he had a simple faith, which was indeed touching. And again, as we say in Irish, Ní bheidh go ahead a rí seán. Ní bheidh go ahead a rí seán. We will not see his like again. Sadly, I received a call that a friend of mine, Brian McDermott, died suddenly while I was away. I knew Brian because he was a dedicated supporter of peace here in Northern Ireland. I was to meet him next Thursday as we are working on a project on continuing the stability of peace here in Northern Ireland. Brian never once mentioned to me that he was actually dying. And he worked up right to the last day. He knew he was dying, but he was a true stoic, and may his memory be a blessing. So again, it's always a trepidation of us all. When we go away, even for a short while, somebody may pass on, and we won't be there to say goodbye. I remember one time when Isabella and myself were heading off to Crete for a few weeks, and my mother said to me, "If I die when you're away, what will you do?" And I said, "My Mum," now she was 90 by the way, she said, "If I die when I'm away, when you're away, what will you do?" And I said, "But sure, if I die in Crete, what will you do?" And she died actually later on when she was 98. In Hebrew 13:14, reinforces the idea that our true home and belonging are not found in the temporal world, but in the eternal city of God, where we will be fully accepted and welcomed. But that is a strictly religious and spiritual understanding of home. Because all of us know in our hearts that we are missing what we want to return to. Desire to be back and sense the familiar and settle into our comfort zone. Our comfort zone, that is home. Whether it's place, people, or as I stepped off the plane at Dublin Airport, rain. Even rain seemed like a good thing after 42 or 43 degrees in the heat. Colour, the colour of green, all of this means special things to us. And let me just finish with a few words by John O'Donoghue, a famous Irish priest, who captured it in one of the shortest poems I've read. And it's a call to come home to yourself. May all that is unforgiven in you be released. May your fears yield their deepest tranquillities. May all that is unlived in you blossom into a future graced with love. To come home to yourself. Maybe that's why we come home. Because we're coming home to ourselves. Amen.